It's a hilarious show that follows three hosts around the world as they try to do extraordinary things.
Here's a sneak peek of the Grand Tour.
I'm shaking all over. I think I might be sick. Oh no.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand
I bet my car looks elegant going through this scenery.
Lend me over.
One of the hosts, James May, is telling us what it's like to be a part of this show and what makes it stand out. Hey, James, how are you?
Very well, how are you?
Oh, we're so excited to have you.
We're happy to have you. I think that, to sum it up, this show just kind of looks like the ultimate road trip.
Yeah, that's not a bad way of thinking of it, actually. It is basically a very drawn-out road trip with some interruptions. You know, people have asked me to describe it, and I find that difficult. And then they say, what is the secret of his success? What makes you three work together? And I'm afraid I don't know the answer to any of it. It's a complete mystery to us, but it seems to work. So we just keep going.
Did you know Jeremy and Richard before the show began, or were you introduced at the beginning of the onset of the show?
Well, I worked with them on our previous show on the BBC, but prior to that, I didn't know Jeremy. I did know Hammond because back in the very dark days of black and white, we both worked in sort of print motoring journalism. In fact, Richard Hammond worked in motor industry PR for a bit.
Wow.
So occasionally I'd go on the launch of a new car and Richard Hammond would be there giving me the information about it and showing me some pictures on a big screen. It was hilarious. He used to wear a suit and have very neat short hair and all sorts of stuff and a pen in his pocket. He was hopeless.
Now, the show is part of our Prime subscription, so people don't realize they've got these great Prime shows they can watch through Amazon Prime. I'm curious, I mean, even with the movies this year, Amazon, Netflix, they're getting so much attention for high-quality stuff. What's it like to work with Amazon and the production that's now going on in these streaming services?
Well, I mean, to be honest, in terms of the way we work, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Amazon don't interfere. They don't try and tell us what to do or anything like that. You know, they're big enough to leave us to it. But it is quite interesting to make a show that you know it's available everywhere all the time. And that's quite scary in a way, especially if you do something really stupid, because it's not like it's on one week and then it's forgotten. It's there forever for people to watch you being an idiot. But that is, I mean, that's the way it has to be, really. People below the age of 30 don't understand the idea that television is scheduled. It's all available all of the time.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like sweets in a shop, and you can have whatever you want, whenever you want. And why not? I mean, it's a great idea. That's what we've always wanted.
Yeah.
It's never been possible before.
Talk to us. The format of the show is kind of like pre-recorded TV films and then live audience segments, and they're in a tent?
Yes, the tent it's our studio, but it is actually a tent. It's like a MASH tent, if you remember those from the film, but it's got some, well, the MASH tents had lights in, ours has got cameras and a wooden floor, and then it's got some boxes where people can sit. And amazingly, hundreds of people turn up to watch this. I mean, hundreds of thousands apply to watch it, and you know, 400 or 500 will actually turn up and sit in a tent and watch three pretty shabby old blokes just talk, I'm going to use a British word, bollocks.
Oh. And you go to some really unusual places. I mean, from Mongolia, China, Detroit. I mean, we're going to see all different venues.
Oh, yeah, we get all over the place. The most absurd place we've been to, I think, well, I say absurd, the most amazing is the middle of Mongolia in this series, because there's nothing there, just this sort of lovely, rather fragrant scenery, which I suspect we spoiled by being in it, to be honest. But it's a fantastic experience. I've never been anywhere quite like that.
Well,
and I'd recommend it, but it's a long way away, and it takes a while to get into the middle of it because there aren't really any roads.
Well, thank you for being with us, James. We so appreciate your time, and we wish you much luck and continued success.
Thank you very much. we'll try and keep it up.
Absolutely.
Just keep having fun. That's what they're doing. Season 3 of The Grand Tour is streaming now, all the time, anywhere on Amazon Prime. Head to amazon.com/thegrandtour to check it out.